Hello and welcome to the T3 Handicapping YouTube page. I'm Chris from T3 Handicapping. Thank you for joining me here today. We are going to be going over spot plays for Wednesday's card. That is Wednesday, the 5th of January, 2022. We're just going to go over a couple spot plays that I have for the Gulfstream card. I hope that you all had a wonderful new year and that you are finding the early parts of this year profitable for your wagering bankroll. So, let's go ahead and jump into things. We're not going to do a full card today. Just take a look at some of the spot plays I'll be making at the Gulfstream Park on Wednesday. So a couple things. First of all, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. But there's lots of ways to get in touch with us. First of all, you can get all of our picks. So on Wednesday, we'll have Gulfstream, Tampa, as well as Mahoning and Parks should all be up there. And then as we move forward into the week, we'll be picking up with Aqueduct. We'll pick Fairgrounds back up. Santa Anita will once again be running Oaklawn. The list goes on and on. So if you want access to all of our picks, not just the ones we cover here in the videos, please go to t3handicapping.weebly.com. You can go ahead and purchase our monthly membership. $10 gets you a full month of access to every single track. So it's the best deal in handicapping products. You can also find us on YouTube, obviously, here. Like and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook. Make sure to both like and follow the page, T3 Handicapping Horse Racing. You'll find some exclusives there only for our Facebook audience. And then you can follow on Twitter at Handicapping T3. There you'll get a lot of real-time kind of updates as we go through. A couple of things here before I jump into my spot plays from Gulfstream. As you are using our picks and as you're going forward, for the next couple of days, I would tread softly with Mahoning Valley and Fairgrounds. I've hit a streak of runners where we're not performing to our usual numbers, and that leads me to believe, particularly at Mahoning, I've noticed a slight change in the track profile. And so I'm going to be going back and I'm going to recalibrate all of our track profiles just to make sure that everything's there. So just if you're using Mahoning and Fairgrounds, make sure you're putting in a little bit of your own handicapping as well to make sure that you're not just relying on our stuff, because I have noticed a little dip in our performance over the last couple of days. So just be aware of that. The rest of our tracks are performing pretty well as usual, but those ones I want to just give you a heads up. I'm going to be looking at the track profiles to see if we need to make a change. Now, let's jump into the Wednesday card. And one of the things that's going to be a little different for me is it's a Wednesday card, and it will only be my third day of playing for the year. One of the things I'm really trying to do this year is give myself some rests in between. Last year, I was playing pretty much every day, and I think at times it just got bogged down and made bad decisions because I never really had a chance to recharge. So one of my horse racing New Year's resolutions was to play a little bit less, and so I took Mondays and Tuesdays off. I just don't play those days. So I'm ready to come back on Wednesday, but honestly, I'm really trying to play heavily through Aqueduct right now, and so I'll probably do some spot plays here and there at Gulfstream, but otherwise I'm going to be mostly a viewer on Wednesday's card. So for my spot plays, I have three different things that I'm looking at here, and the first one comes in race number two. Race number two is going to be a dirt race going 6.5 furlongs, class level 13. And we have a speed duel that looks to set up on the front end, at least based on just the pace numbers. But when I actually went and looked at the pace, I wasn't so sure that that was necessarily going to be the case. I see Reserve Not Attained, who has the top speed number for us, the top jockey trainer number for us, as well as the top form number for us. If you know the T3 system, if you followed us before, tic-tac-toe 3 in a row. Tic-tac-toe T3, right? So the way that I used to do this when I just created these boards is that if you had 3 in a row, that was your best bet. This happens to be a particularly strong line here when you have speed, jockey, trainer, form, and it actually helps especially, too, that we have the pace number here as well. So I've got a lot of things to like here about Reserve Not Attained. Yes, it looks like it could be quick up front, but I do think this one could be clear enough of someone like Lusitania who wants to try and close ground. The Gulfstream Dirt, especially on the sprint races, if you can get to the lead early, you're pretty unstoppable. So I'm going to take Reserve Not Attained at I don't want to say any price, but if we're second choice on the board as the morning line suggests, or really anything over even money, I'm going to be looking to play reserve not attained. I feel very strongly that this one's going to get the trip, especially breaking from that inside, be able to control things and get the job done. After that, I'm going to be sitting out quite a few races, but then I do have a couple back to back. So I may be looking at some doubles here. In race number 7, it's another class level 13. Now, this one's going 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta surface. This one is a little bit of a challenge for me just because I have not done particularly well on the Tapeta surface. I tend to struggle a little bit understanding the pace scenario and which horse is really going to make the charge. But what I see here is I see a race that to me looks like it's going to be eligible to be taken advantage of on the front end. Now, I think you're most likely to get like a number 1 personal meadow out on the front, but I don't think that horse is going to have to go all that fast. Now, I don't think Personal Meadow is going to have the ability to take it on the front end. That has not typically done well on the Tapeta surface. Um, and so I'm not real keen on that one holding all the way through. But I am interested in Zamfir. Zamfir projects to be, from a pace perspective, one of the more forwardly placed horses, and has a decent race flow number. It's not as high as I would like it to be, but I think the 8 is going to be just left out to dry. Hushed Hijinks is interesting to me because it has both the pace and the race flow, and class. It looks pretty good too. But on overall numbers, because of the speed figures and because of the power rating, I'm going to go with Zamfir. You can see speed, record at the distance, and then rating. I like that now we're starting to get some of these horses that actually have some Tapeta form, which was not the case early on. So you can build a little bit off of that. And you can see that this one also excels in that category as well. So this one, I would say I'm not as confident in as I was in Reserve Not Attained, but I would take Zamfir. I'm probably going to demand 2-1 on Zamfir. Otherwise, I may just have to pass, or stick to the doubles. But that's kind of what I'm looking for there. And then I want to wheel right back in race 8 for my final spot play of the day on Wednesday. And that is a class level 14. Again, 6 furlongs on the dirt. So we're looking for horses that are going to be forwardly placed. There's plenty to choose from here. These are just speedball sprinters. They all want to be on the front end. But for me, Amazing Trip projects to be the one to beat here. Now, the concern that I have with Amazing Trip is that it is breaking from the outside, and everybody in this race wants to be forward. I wish that my pace number was about another 2 or 3 points higher, just so I could really say, yeah, this horse is going to be out on the front end and nobody's going to catch it. But what I am hopeful for is that the 4 is kind of speed and fade, right? Shows up on the pace, but not on the race flow. Uh, and then you've got the number 6 horse here, who is projected to be way off, that 5 point gap that I like to see from the 7 horse, and then still is going to come up short in the race flow department. So to me, that's a really strong indicator. Again, tic tac toe 3 in a row. You can see I highlighted the one. Typically, I would only use it if I had one straight line across. But in a race like this, where you do have a little bit of a muddied picture, I do think it is also important to recognize that, although it's not an outright 3 in a row, you can also see the 7 showing up in all 3 of these categories. You can see the 7 showing up 3 in a row right here as well. And you can see the 7 showing up 3 in a row right there as well. So no matter kind of how you slice it, the 7 does look like the horse to beat here. I know She's So Beautiful comes in as sort of the top selection, but you look here. I mean, on class, just looking at it from here, it looks like the 7 is third. But then when you actually look at the numbers, tied for first. So that's why it ends up here in the class box as well. I just think it's definitely going to be a tightly contested race, but I do really like Amazing Trip. Amazing Trip is one that, honestly, I think I would take this one a little bit shorter. I might take this one down to. I'm a little nervous about the pace. Otherwise, I would take this one down to even money. I would want to see this one hovering 8 to 5, 9 to 5 at a bare minimum. If it's somewhere above that, I will definitely take it in the win pool. If we're getting any lower than that, then I'm probably going to have to, like I said, just stick to the doubles. So, my 3 spot plays for the day, I'm looking for being forward to be the key to all of them. The first one being Reserve Not Attained. That's the number 2 horse in race number 2. Then we have the number 7 in race number 7, Zamfir, and the number 7 in race number 8, Amazing Trip. To get access to all of these race summaries and all of our picks, don't forget to go to t3handicapping.weebly.com, purchase a monthly membership, just $10, gets you access to 30 days worth of cards, and that includes Gulfstream, that includes Tampa, and that includes Mahoning Valley for tomorrow, as well as Parks. So, 4 tracks to choose from on a Wednesday if you go ahead and take advantage of that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're still here. And, last but not least, I just want to say thank you again for your continued support of T3 Handicapping. 2022 is off to a blazing hot start, and we're feeling great about it. So thank you to all of you who continue to watch, continue to purchase the picks and use them, and send your kind messages along. I really appreciate that. Good luck in all of your Wednesday plays. Cash those tickets.